What's up, y'all? It's your boy Grant back here again with a new episode. I know it's been a while, specifically 42 days, but I kind of had to get back on the gas with this latest release from Schoolboy Q. The first thing I kind of want to say is I'm not gonna lie and say Crash Talk didn't disappoint me, because it did. But I do think that there are elements in Crash Talk or parts of Crash Talk that are extremely good, like Die With 'Em, Attention, and songs like that. With that being said, I feel like Blue Lips is, if you take, I'm not gonna say take every Q album and mix them all together, but I'm gonna say if you took, it feels like if Crash Talk, it feels like what Crash Talk really was supposed to be. Like, I get the weirdness of some of the songs and like the production choices, like the lack of drums and just the left field stuff, and then not to mention the amount of beat switches that are on here. And then you get like what Q does best, some of his mainstream tracks or like super mainstream radio heavy stuff that's good. Like, I feel like there's a lot of this on here. I feel like there's a lot of it's the best. This album is very much the best of Q in terms of how many pockets he could hit as a rapper. Like, I ain't gonna say there's like no blank face or like habits or contradictions, but Q has always been really good about, hey, I could give you the radio stuff, I could give you the deep cuts, I could give you the weird stuff all in one album. So I'm just gonna look at my phone real quick and go through this. When Blue Slides was the first single, I didn't piece it together quite that quick, and then it kind of just clicked for me because I didn't. Blue Slides, like the rest in peace Mac Miller. But when Blue Slides dropped, I was like, okay, this might be it. This might be the one. Q on a redemption tour. He's back. Yearn 101, I don't want to say it's weird. I think it's very on brand for Q. I wasn't super fond of it, but at the same time, I didn't hate it. I just liked it. But Blue Sides was just got my attention the most. I think my most surprising songs on here are Foe with Absol, Lost Times, Germany 86, Movie, and Funny Guy. I wish Funny Guy was wasn't just the intro. I feel like I really wish it wasn't just the intro, because I think the instrumental is so good. Also Ohio, I kind of wasn't expecting that back and forth between Q and not back and forth, but Q and Gibbs on that same beat. I thought it was gonna be kind of like, oh, I'm rapping to take your head off type of thing. But it was actually a very, very good song with the instrumental selection as well. It kind of took me back to the blog era days where, all the T guys were trying to rap to take each other head off. I honestly want to say that I feel like that is my favorite Q in Absol song currently. That's probably the weirdest instrumental on the album to me, but it was executed very well. It just took me back to those 2012 days, so I really enjoyed that. Now, to me, the best song on the album is Lost Times. And I think this quote specifically is what I take from the entire album. He says he's the first Hoover that flied. So seeing Q come from like these beginnings and then kind of becoming this, okay, I am the second most popular in TDE. But I'm not a slouch or anything like that. Because originally out, Kendrick was J-Rock's hype man. So like the hierarchy, I guess, I'm not gonna say hierarchy like, like these niggas grown men, but the hierarchy for like who the biggest was on the label. I don't think it originally was supposed to be Kendrick. I don't think it originally was supposed to be anyone. I think people were just making music. So Q kind of coming out and becoming this nice star, but also not being have to sacrifice much in his music. I love it a lot, and I feel like Lost Times it kind of wraps the whole album together. I know it's not the outro, but I really feel like that's the whole point of the album. Is we've seen him come this far, and the fact that he is still here with us, and we're still appreciating what's happening with all his albums, all his music in general. I think it's a blessing. Like it's good to watch a legend in real time make music, and I really enjoyed this album. I know people are kind of strict on TDE now, and I get it. I really do get it. But one thing I do have to keep in mind is that Q said that we have to kind of start looking at rap as more of an art form instead of just a competition. What are we exactly racing for? So the big thing for me was going to this album. I was like, okay, Q kind of took his time with this. Like, I'm going to treat it as a body of work. I'm not going to treat it as something just to compare. The biggest takeaway for me from this album is that Q's creative production choices really, really did it for me, and that's what got me invested. And also, like I said this before on Twitter, but I kind of heard a lot of Stove God influence on some of these songs. But at the same time, I've heard that they kind of take from each other sometimes. So I guess not that surprising. And my final thoughts are basically that with kind of like this new era of music, the year of the not new year, but since the 2020s, music has been very, very niche, like especially rap music. So kind of experiencing these albums with like a fan base or like what their community is truly what it's all about. So I'm very glad I got to Q delivered on this. I very much enjoy the album. I think it gives us a lot of pockets of Q, which is what Q does best. Like he gave us the West Coast stuff, he gave us the super old TDE stuff, the new stuff, the just giving us a bit of everything, but being able to execute it well, I think is a very, very hard feat. I think very few people can do that. But other than that, that's pretty much all I got for this video. I'm sorry I've been taking so long with this, but Blue List kind of got me excited again, so hopefully this will get me back to the swing of things. Appreciate y'all.